We're going to move on to now the processes that we would use to write a personal statement. So obviously we have written a personal statement to go to university, but obviously that was many years ago now. But like we said, we've got an experience of writing personal statements just for jobs that we applied for. And I think it's the one thing to say, there's no one way to write a personal statement. There might be lots of guidance about what to include in it, but the actual process of going through that can be different depending on your different learning styles and how you process things. We kind of give the example, if you wouldn't go about writing a personal statement in the exact same way, an assignment the exact same way. Everyone has different ways of doing that. So what we thought we'd do, we'd kind of give you a bit of a brief overview about how we would go about writing a personal statement, so that hopefully one of the ways that we talk about might connect with you and you can kind of follow through with that. So I'm going to go first to Sam. So do you want to explain a bit about how you would write a personal statement?
Sure. I mean, the strategy that I usually take in the various times that I've done this, and the strategy that I suggest to applicants really, is to structure your thoughts in terms of the different kind of categories of your aspiration. So I usually advise people to think about, first of all, what are their kind of academic aspirations? So, what are you studying towards at the moment? Not just, what grades do you get? That's provided on paper, but what actual knowledge do you want to get out of that? What appreciation for the subject area? What kind of specialism do you want to cultivate within yourself in terms of that knowledge? So that's your academic aspirations. Next is obviously your professional aspirations. So is applying to this course, is your current studies, is that leading you to a very particular career goal that you're after? Or even if that's not a specific job, is that you want a career that is going to sort of provide this kind of life for you, or provide you the opportunity to do something else? So what's the professional goal that you're aiming for? And then finally, your personal aspirations. So are you following this path because you've got a particular kind of a goal? Like, do you want to help people? Do you want to overcome a problem? Do you want to be kind of person at the forefront of something? Do you want to be pushing something forward? What is it? And I would usually say 9 times out of 10, if you're writing that out to kind of structure your thoughts, you'll find that there's a lot of interlinking between those 3 areas naturally. It'd be very odd if all those 3 aspirations were completely detached and nothing to do with each other. So I usually find that in the process of writing out those 3 sections, and that's just writing out for yourself, so that can be sort of scrawled notes, however you kind of structure your thoughts. But you can, it kind of helps you, having it on paper, identify, okay, what's the overarching theme here? What's linking all my aspirations and goals? And from that, you can kind of draw out the bits that are most important to put in your personal statement to really get across what's driving you really and what your passion is.
Sounds good, thank you. Ben, what's your kind of process for writing a personal statement?
Yeah, firstly, I really like Sam's process. So good advice.
You can start using that now.
But I would go about it slightly differently. I think maybe again, we've all got different brains and stuff. I would personally reflect on my experiences that I've had. So it might be trips away, playing sports, learning a musical instrument, Duke of Edinburgh Awards, etc. So all the moments that I feel like I've grown, or I've developed, or I've showcased maybe the best of myself. And then I'd write them down, I'd mind map them. And then off that, I'd work out the skills and qualities that I've displayed by doing that. So for example, if I could sail, for example, in a crew, you've got communication, organization, working under pressure, etc. If you were someone who's learned a language, there's a specific set of skills that are required to take on that information, and the consistency and getting involved with different cultures, etc. So hopefully your experiences will be broad, and you'll be able to draw a lot of really strong qualities and particular strengths. And then the next thing I would do is hopefully you do have a goal and an aim. Out of a few different courses or universities, I'd look on those universities' websites, and I would map out the modules and how I would be studying, and then I would check if this might help you reflect on what your first choice is, because once you go into that detail, you might feel like, actually I match this course or they. this, what university appears to be the better one, this type of learning and type of course will suit me better. And I would try and match my skills and qualities to what I'd be studying, with elements of what Sam said earlier about your goals. And then from there, start writing a statement with sort of a bit more intent and very purposeful for the types of universities or courses that you're applying to.
Great, thank you. And then with my process, I guess it's kind of like the opposite way of the way that Ben does his, is that I would start first with the research. So going on to the university's websites, going onto the course pages, and just having a read through of everything that they've got. Some universities will have what they call like the course handbook, so they have all the information about the course, the module that you're going to study and things like that. And I would kind of go through that and just highlight buzzwords, so things that I think are really important that they're looking for in the course, or things that they really like to try and sell in the course, to say we're a really great university for this, or we're a really great course team for this, and kind of just highlight those buzzwords, because those are, I think, would be the things that they would be looking for in a student, to have those, you know, to kind of, like I said, to match that up. So I would kind of highlight all those buzzwords, write them all down on a Word document or whatever you kind of want to do it, and match those buzzwords to the skills, the qualities, and the interests that I have. So for example, just before we started doing this, I went on to the Basketball website and had a look at the course that I did study on. And some of the buzzwords I found in there were poverty and inequality. And that kind of reminded me that when I was doing my A-levels, I did a qualification called the Extended Project, which I know a lot of sixth formers do. And I focused mine on an essay in poverty and inequality. So I kind of remember that actually that would have been something I would have put in my personal statements, again, to kind of show that we have similar interests as a university and as a potential student as well. So I would kind of spend time doing that and create one big massive checklist, so that when I came to write my own personal statement, I'm making sure I'm talking about how I'm interested in poverty and inequality. I'm a communicator. I've worked with young people before. Here's my experiences. So yeah, that's how I would process mine. So again, lots of different ways of how to go about doing the personal statement. There's no one way to do it. You find what works for you so that you can create the best one for you.